Libras, welcome to your weekly Sidereal Astrology forecast. This is for October 24th through the 30th of 2016. I'm Athen, and this channel is about using the actual constellations in the sky known as Sidereal Astrology. If you are new to the channel, be sure to check out the link down below for more information. All right, so Libras, this week we have a new moon at the end of the week, which means we're actually coming into this week in the third quarter phase, which is a good time to implement some things, take some action. But as the week unfolds, a bit of this more meditative and receptive approach as we approach the new moon on Sunday. So at the week's end, you'll have a new moon in your 12th house. It's already, I think, been a good time for you to maybe get some alone time, work a bit behind the scenes, that kind of a thing with the last two lunar cycles involving this 12th house of yours. So it's been a good time. And a lot of this is about to shift with the sun going into your first house. This is going to happen here quite soon, next week. But now this new beginning about the importance of having more acceptance. And it's been a good time for you to dive deep and to see if there's any fears or anxieties or things that come up as you are being present, as you are being. And that's what makes the 12th house such an excellent time to get in touch with yourself psychologically, get in touch with yourself spiritually, and just all in all with your beingness, and really developing your faith, developing your acceptance and your trust in life, which again is all accessed through that present moment. So a great weekend again to reflect on these things, set some new intentions with it. But like I said, next week, a lot of energy is going to start to go into your first house, which is more about your goals and things like that. But before we do that, of course, we do have to get the rest and meditative time. So that's the week's end. Let's go and look at this in terms of how things unfold. There's a lot of aspects this week, a lot of which is involving your ruler Venus. Venus will be squaring up to Neptune on Tuesday and Wednesday, sextiling Jupiter during that same time, and conjoining up to Saturn as we get into that weekend. So let's go ahead and talk about this in relation to Saturn, because she's going to be very close to Saturn here this whole week. And this has been in a greater context, the importance of you having a bit of patience and discipline with the financial life, all right, or with your inner resources, your self-reliance. So this year it's been about having a bit of patience with these things. Maybe some of you are saving or can be saving, really taking the grounded, mature approach, let's say, to the finances, to the material life, but most fundamentally with your self-reliance. Taking that seriously and building your inner resources, and maybe even connecting to your natural gifts and natural abilities, which you can implement in that constructive way with Saturn. But as your ruler does get closer to Saturn there, I think it is a good week for just generally having a bit of patience, having a bit of persistence, and in many ways a new beginning with all of this, and a new beginning with those inner and outer values of yours. All right, but here Tuesday and Wednesday, Venus squaring up to Neptune. On these 2 days, I think if there is uncertainty or doubt about where you're headed, about who you are, maybe about the financial stuff, maybe it's even in regards to the things you enjoy in life, which has been where Neptune has been, it's good to be as present as you can. Neptune, just like the 12th house, is about presence, is about acceptance. In the square, it may not be comfortable, may not be easy collectively speaking, but it makes it an excellent first few days there to do meditative things, spiritual activities, let's say, whether it's yoga, prayer, meditation, or anything that puts you into a meditative state. And yeah, develop that, because the squares, they are about action. At least that's a great way of working with it, implementing it, being proactive with the spiritual development. And as a result, I think you can find this very constructive. But if you don't have all the information, if there is a bit of uncertainty this early part of the week, maybe it's good to take a step back or be present with it, or maybe listen to your intuition. All right, and the sextile to Jupiter is not bad. I mean, I think you'll be feeling probably quite buoyant this early part of the week, or at least there's some sort of opportunity. And again, I think that's more to do with maybe working behind the scenes or something like that involving that spiritual development. Now, as we go into the weekend, Friday through Saturday, Mars will be activated. He's going to be squaring up to Uranus, sextiling up to Chiron. And this has been a Mars who's recently gone into your third house, so maybe you've been more direct with your communication lately. Maybe you've been more direct with anything that involves learning, or exchanging, or trading in life. And there may have even been some transformations last week when Mars conjoined up to Pluto in that third house, transforming your mind, transforming maybe even the financial material stuff, maybe even relationships as well. But whatever that was, a great week to continue to implement that. But around the weekend, Friday and Saturday, give those things a bit of space as well. Again, this can be with communication. If you're feeling a bit impulsive or want to break free, break through, maybe it's with the work or everyday routine. and give it a bit of space, maybe even the financial stuff and the relationship stuff as well. And what you'll notice is that there is some freedom. There's something here that's calling you to have more freedom. Maybe it's with your work. Maybe it's with your routine. Maybe it's with relationships. Maybe it's with your finances. But implement it with a nice, slow and steady way instead of impulsively or taking any rash decisions. Not that that will happen, as much as there's just a caution of that, collectively speaking, when Mars squares up to Uranus, a bit of that impulsive type of action. But with presence, with awareness, and constructively implementing it, I think it's still an excellent time to continue with that communication or learning, continuing with that development with those finances, your relationships, and your work as well. All right, so that's the week in a nutshell. And then, like I said, as we go into the weekend, there is this new moon on Sunday. Great time to listen. Great time to see where you can continuously have more acceptance in your life, maybe more alone time, maybe more peace and tranquility. It is actually a very supportive new moon, conjoining Mercury, trining up to Neptune, which is very nice with this. And yeah, maybe there's a new thing shaping up with your worldview, your philosophy, your belief systems. And that could be supporting that self-expression as well. All right, so Libras, have a fantastic week. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all next week.